Hey man, what's good with y'all boys, man? It's Matt Sonoso coming at you with another video. And today, I got a very special video for y'all, man. I was so hyped to make this. I've been waiting a couple days on it. And I told y'all I had a banger on the way. We got this curry slide spam tutorial. I told y'all about it in my last video. If you haven't checked out my last video, I dropped a misdirection behind the back tutorial. I know I've waited all year to do it. I don't know why I have. But I dropped a tutorial on this move you see right there. Green bean on the basketball gods, feel me? But yeah, I dropped a tutorial on the misdirection behind the back, and I said in that video that stay tuned, I was going to be getting this video out where we learned the curry behind the back spam because it was floating around Twitter, people were figuring it out, and yeah, it's out now, so I got to bring it to y'all. So you see the misdirection I'm showing you now. If you don't know how to do the misdirection, go check out my last video. This is essentially a part 2, and you're definitely not going to want to miss out on knowing how to do this and the misdirection I went over in my last video. So going on with that, first off, if you don't have 85 or higher ball control, 80 or 86 or higher ball control, enough to speed boost, you're more than likely not going to be able to do this unless you have a lower ball control, but you get a couple buckets in park or takeover, you know what I mean? But here's the move. Y'all see the curry behind the back spam? I thought it was only, you know, you could just do a double behind the back, but I guess you can do this thing up to 10 times, feel me? You can do it a bunch of times. So first things first, obviously, to get this behind the back animation, you know, as an animation itself, you need to have 86 or higher ball control. I went over that in my last video for the misdirection. If you don't know that, now you know. You could obviously, if you have like 80 ball control, go in the park, get 3 buckets and pop the move. But yeah, we're in the MYCAREER learning it, so you're gonna need 86 or higher. Size up packages, you see these 2 right here. Allen Iverson, Zach LaVine, those are like the best. Steph Curry's not bad either, Pro 2's not bad. And then Pro 3 hesitation, same exact things I went over in my last video because like I said, these moves are like, you know, they're almost the same thing. It follows under the same requirements. We're just exploiting the same move now differently. So I recommend, personally, I was recording this video live on my stream last night, so you know, if you don't peep the streams, sub with noties. I went over this move with people in my chat while I was learning it, and I went over Zach LaVine's sizer package is one of the better sizer packages because it's fast, but you still get glitchy animations. That's what I dribble with. But anyways, here we go. So first off, one thing that is very clutch to know is how to do this behind the back right here. If you don't know how to do the slide behind the back, the curry slide, simply hold right trigger and flick your right stick down to the left and down to the right. That is all you have to do the slide behind the back. You hold your right trigger and you flick your right stick diagonally down. Now you see here, last night live, I was trying to learn how to do this move. And I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling a little bit. It was confusing. Don't think this is gonna happen quick. Everything in this move is in this game is trash. Dribbling mechanics are awkward. Your player moves weird. It took me like 25 to 30 minutes to get it just barely consistently. So don't stress if this takes you a while. I'm not gonna lie. I'll explain to y'all the common mistakes later. But you see here, I'm getting double behind the backs, and then I'm getting messed up. So real quick, first of all, let me explain to you guys with the controller can how we do the move. So you see right here, we have both triggers held and we have both sticks going down in each direction. So pretty much what we're doing here is same way you would do a regular behind the back with the right trigger held and the stick going down to the left, down to the right. You're gonna also just hold left trigger and do your left stick too. So instead of just using the right trigger and right stick, you're using left trigger and left stick. Now, might I mention also, this controller cam footage is from Chamama. I also forgot to mention in the intro, like I said before, Chamama did drop the gameplay and the tutorial on this move first. I was waiting days for someone to drop it. He was the first to come out with it, so all credit goes to him. All right, link in the description. But you see right here where I froze it? This is the indicator right here. When I do the behind the back, one common mistake I made was I was going too quick. When you string left and right with this behind the back spam, you need to wait until the ball gets to the highest point in your arm. When you go behind the back left and right, like I said, y'all, I was messing up a lot. But the best thing you can do is I noticed that when you wait longer, it actually works way more consistently. You have to let the ball get to the highest point on each arm. That's when you flick it back the other way. And here you're gonna see, once I start getting it down, I started to be able to do it 2 times more, 3 times more, 4 times more. I started to get the spam down. You see how I'm getting it back and forth now? Because I waited to get the ball to the highest point when it goes behind my back into the other arm for the size up. When my player lifts that ball to the highest point, I then flick it back the other way with both triggers, both sticks. but that still wasn't enough. You're gonna see here I was getting it, but obviously the ugly behind the back animation comes out a bunch of times, and you can never help that to an extent. But I noticed something. One of the most key recognizable things I noticed when I was spamming here, because you're gonna see right here, look how many times I messed up, y'all. Like, wasn't easy at all, y'all. Believe me, 20, 30 minutes, you're gonna see me messing up. Look at this, like, you're not alone, y'all. Like, this took me a while to understand. But one thing I noticed, bro, think about this. The first move, every single time I got the good slide animation like that right there, look at me. I immediately got the clean double slide. I go to try it again, slide, behind the back, I escape, slide, and you're gonna notice that every time I did the good slide animation first, I was able to spam. You see me there going 4 times in a row. So I had to figure out my head. Chamama said there was 2 ways to do it too. The other way to do it is not to hold left trigger on the first behind the back. So I tried it, right? I do the slide, holding right trigger, right stick down to my right. Then I held left trigger and used my left stick and right stick for both ways back and forth. I got it 6 times in a row. So the key discovery here, if you made it this far in the video, is that if you're not getting it right and your player keeps spinning around and all that dumb animations, look at me getting it 6 times in a row, simply hold right trigger and flick your right stick for the first behind the back, and then after you get the first one, then hold left trigger and use your left stick and add all of that after, because you don't have to hold everything, left trigger, left stick, right trigger. You don't have to use all 4 for the first behind the back. You just have to use it for the second and the rest. So you can do the first behind the back simply by holding right trigger, and then you add the left trigger and left stick for the other ones. But now, just peep right here. I keep going back and forth. I end up getting it 6 times in a row. So it's all opinion based. You can either hold left trigger and left stick with your directions. You can do that the whole way through, or you can do your first behind the back without left trigger and left stick. That is what made me able to do it so consistently. When I stopped using left trigger and left stick for the first behind the back, I got the better curry slide to start, and that also allowed me to get it better. But peep this right here. Peep this misdirection behind the back into the spam. This is when you start, this is when you hop in your crack bag real quick, all right? You wanna talk tricky, talk to me nice. Peep me right here. Come up, misdirection, try it again, come to the left, hezzy, misdirection, but double it, you feel me? So if you really get this move down, this is when you start getting tricky. You hit the misdirection and then you double it with the curry spam. So like I said, you have to take in what I explained in my last video into account and combine it with this video here, y'all. Feel free to rewind and break it down, but just know if you're not getting the right animations, focus on the ball point at which you do your behind the back when you get the ball to the highest point in your arm. Focus on timing it there, and also try both methods. Try doing it without left trigger, left stick for the first behind the back, or try doing it for all. And when you get that down, tie it in with my misdirection behind the back. The tutorial is the last video I dropped. Feel free to go check that out. But anyways, man, it's been Master on the Store. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Thank y'all for popping out. If you have any questions below, let me know in the comments. This move is not as hard as you think. It takes a lot of time to figure out, but it actually is not as difficult as you would imagine. So anyways, man, it's been Master on the Store. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'm out. Peace.
You've been on my